Good morning. We interrupt your weekly scheduled upload of Luxurious Gazelle and the Budgeteers because last night iMovie decided to take a crap and give me the finger. But so I was I was working on editing the video for this week, and iMovie has just not been cooperating all last night and this morning. So I now have a impromptu video vlog-ish that I'll have to do, which is actually kind of a good thing because this is there's been some ideas I've been wanting to get out, specifically regarding college debt and student loans. I've been taking a look at the TikTok platform, and one of the things that's great about TikTok is that it is a platform where the demographic is specifically designed for like teenagers and high school kids and people that are just coming right into college. So I think it's a great opportunity to see what these folks are really kind of going through financially, especially when it comes to the student loans that they're taking on. Now you combine that with a lot of the Dave Ramsey videos that you see where people are calling in and they have $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 worth of student loans, but yet they have careers that are paying $30,000 or $40,000, and it's really heartbreaking that all these folks are having this much difficulty with their student loans, and they can't pay them off and enjoy their lives, for that matter. So here's a couple of at least 5 of my kind of tips and the way that I understand things to kind of help things move along a little bit. So if you're a high school student, definitely pay attention. If you're a parent of a high school student, this is definitely for you. The first, I'd say the major problem that I observe with student loans, or really, I'd say no, even the major real problem, just starting from the beginning, is that kids, I mean like high school kids, are going to college because they enjoy the subject. Now, let me back up and explain what I mean by this. It's great to enjoy your vocation, and it's great to enjoy the career that that you're going into, and it's great to enjoy the degree that you're going into. But to go into that degree just because you enjoy it, and to study that in college just because you like it, is a recipe for disaster. And a lot of times I think this happens because you'll get some 15, 16-year-old goes to their career counselor and they say, hey, you're really good at this subject. You should study it in college. No, that's not how it works. Because the problem is that there's a huge culture shock between what you enjoy and actually, or like a hobby, and actually studying it for a career. So the example I like to think about is imagine that you're talking to a high school student and they love animals, right? They love animals, and they love helping animals and working with animals. There's some like career counselors and even some parents and stuff that are out there that might say, hey, you're really good at that. You should be a veterinarian. Well, here's the issue. What will happen is that student might go into veterinary school and not realize the exact workload and all the details that are involved with that kind of a degree. There's a lot of science, a lot of chemistry, anatomy, physiology. And if they're not prepared for that, it can be very demoralizing, and they can lose interest very quickly. Whereas maybe, if they wanted to help out with animals, they could volunteer at the local shelter. They get the same fulfillment, and they get to do it for free. Someone's opening the garage. All part of the editing process that I get to have right now. So, and this is actually something that I noticed back when I went to college with engineering school. A lot of students dropped out within their first year or so because they just couldn't handle the workload and the type of study and the rigor and the discipline and focus that's required on it. Now, what this student should have done, or could do, is go to an animal hospital and talk with the vets there, talk with the doctors, talk with the nurses, talk with the staff. What is it like? What's the profession like? What are the ups? What are the downs? And see if that's an actual position and career that they want to pursue. And if it is, great. Because at that point then, now they can ask, okay, what kind of colleges did you go to? What kind of courses did you study? What kind of programs did you participate in? That now prepares them. So now when they start looking at college careers, not college career, but when they're looking at their careers for college, they're now looking starting from the end. They're starting from the end and working backwards, meaning that they are looking at the career and deciding what they want and then realizing, oh, I need a degree in order to fulfill that. So now they're going into a degree that will fulfill them as well as supply them enough money to maintain that kind of a lifestyle. Now, that being said, here are 5 sort of little tricks, tips, situations that you need to be aware of in order to go to college for, not for free, but for almost for free, and to come out debt free. Number 1, I have them written down here. Number 1, fill out the FAFSA. Absolutely required and mandatory. The FAFSA is the federal application, no, it's a free application for federal student aid. I think that's what it stands for. This qualifies you for a bunch of student aid and or financial aid to go to college. Specifically, it will qualify you for what is known as the Pell Grant. The Pell Grant is the government's excuse to give money to college students. It's free money. The FAFSA will qualify you for this. Additionally, now this next part might only apply to California residents, I'm not sure, but when I went to college, I got what was known as the BOG fee waiver. I can't remember what it stands for. It's something about the government's fee waiver or whatever, but what it does is it basically waives a lot of your tuition costs. So, and that also happens due to the FAFSA. So fill it out, definitely fill it out. And I think you have to renew it every year you have to renew it, but that's not a big of a deal. Oh, and just a real quick side note. The difference between a grant and a scholarship. A grant is it's a financial need base, whereas a scholarship is it's scholastically needed, or it's merit based. So, for example, if you're really good at sports or science or any of that kind of stuff, that would be a scholarship. Whereas if you demonstrate financial need, that's where the grant would come into play. Number 2, go to the JC, the junior college. The junior college this is what I did. The reason for this being is units at a JC are a fraction of the cost as units at a university. If I remember correctly, my JC had, the units were $12 a unit. Whereas if I took the exact same unit, the exact same class at a regular university or like a state university, would have been around 50 or 60. This combined with the BOG fee waiver allowed me to go to the JC for free. I had free tuition, which always definitely a plus. Also, the Pell Grant, so combining that with the Pell Grant, that allowed me to get the money for any kind of supplies like books and so forth and so on. So definitely see if you can get to a JC, that's a junior college. The other thing that the junior college will allow you to do, or the situation that it creates, is you now become a transfer student as opposed to a matriculating incoming freshman in colleges. Transfer students have a much better chance not only of getting into the college that they want, but also of succeeding. The whole reason you take things like the SAT, the Scholastic Aptitude Test, and the entrance exams and the entry level tests and all that stuff, the reason that you're taking those is you're demonstrating to the admissions department that you can handle the college lifestyle. When you're a transfer student, you're already taking college courses. So you've already demonstrated college aptitude. You already have shown that you can handle it. And because of that, you have to maintain a good GPA too, but because of that, your entrance, you're more likely going to get accepted. Not to mention, it will be a little bit easier because you've already been exposed to that lifestyle. Number 3, what do I have? Go onto Google and type in where to find applications for scholarships. There are, and I'm not kidding, thousands and thousands and thousands of scholarships. One website showed over 8,000 scholarships and grants that are available for high school students, for students pursuing bachelor's degrees, for everything. They're all over the place. Fill out scholarships. And sometimes there's even really, really specific ones. If you are a left-handed female African American that was born in Zimbabwe that's studying liberal arts, there's $50 out there for you. All you got to do is just fill it out. There's a lot of free money that's out there that goes unclaimed simply because people just don't take the time to fill out all this stuff. There's grants and scholarships, so be aware. But the way I would look at it is probably for the last year leading up to your college entry, I would be filling out 3 scholarships or applying to 3 scholarships per week. And then the last 3 months leading up to when you finally move to the college that you're going to, 5 applications per week. Just fill them out. Now, some of them you're going to have to apply, you're going to have to write essays for. You're going to have to just basically tell them who you are, what your interests are, what you're going to use the money for, what you're pursuing, that kind of stuff, which is not that big of a deal. They'll range usually from a few $100 to several thousand, so you might as well apply. And then here's the other thing. While you're in college, keep applying. Don't stop. This is going to be a college-long career thing that you do up until you finally graduate, when you won't be, well, obviously, you won't be able to apply for those scholarships anymore because you graduated. Number 4, this kind of goes along with the junior college issue, and that is your full regular college goes in-state. Go to an in-state college. A lot of JCs will usually have a transfer program that will allow you to go straight into the in-state college because their programs are set up just like that. I went to the Santa Rosa Junior College. The Santa Rosa Junior College, or the SRJC, has a program specifically designed to feed transfer students right into Cal Poly, which is where I went. They work with the admissions department at Cal Poly to actually get you the exact courses that you need, to get you the credits that you need, so everything is a smooth transfer. But also, when you're a resident of the state, it's just a lot cheaper. So reduce your expenses and go to an in-state college. It really doesn't matter where you go. The truth is, it really doesn't. Where I work, we take engineers from all over the place. It doesn't matter whether you're from California, whether you're from MIT, whether you're from Berkeley, whether you're from Tennessee. As long as you have the skills and the experience and the drive to do what you do and you love what you do, that's all that matters. Where you got your degree, not so much. Number 5, side hustle and side job. This would probably be, in addition to your working with the scholarships and applying scholarships, this is your second side hustle, all right? This is where you might actually have a job, and that's perfectly fine. And good for you on that one. The other thing you can do is, again, just side hustle to bring in some extra cash. I did a video on this just last week. If you don't know what to do, go on to Craigslist. Under your town or in your area, go under for sale. Click on free. Get a bunch of free stuff, whether it's a weight set, some clothes that people want to get rid of, whether it's a TV, flip it either on eBay or go flip it on Facebook Marketplace. Going out and grabbing a free TV, a flat screen TV, selling it for $40, and then just repeat it. Not that big of a deal. This will bring in at least a steady stream of income that you can use to supplement your scholarship funds as well. So, I hope you really enjoyed that. This has been a nice little bit of a morning brisk walk. I will get iMovie fixed up so I can get some regular videos out to you in our regularly scheduled program or our weekly uploads. And next week's video will be what this week's video was going to be. Anyways, have a great day, and I will talk with you guys later.